In the early months of 2026, the highest levels of Iran's military and political security apparatus completely collapsed. Targeted killings are a decades-old feature of regional conflict. In 2020, a U.S. drone strike eliminated Quds Force commander Qasem Soleimani, a complex, standalone kinetic event. This chronological data table plots high-profile operations against Iranian leadership. Between 2020 and mid-2024, data shows a steady baseline, planned strikes separated by years of intelligence gathering. Starting on February 28, 2026, the timeline compressed, marking the initiation of Operation Epic Fury. Within a 3-week window, the highest echelon of the Iranian state was dismantled. Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei was killed on February 28th. Strategic Advisor Ali Larijani on March 17th. Intelligence Minister Esmail Khatib on March 18th. The execution of these strikes in such a narrow window originates from a radically evolved systemic intelligence machine, rather than isolated tactical luck. Traditional state-sponsored assassinations relied on prolonged, localized covert ambushes. They required inserting operatives into hostile territory and waiting for a geographical error by the target. Modern operations are governed by the sensor-to-shooter loop. This is the time elapsed between a sensor identifying a target and a weapon deploying a kinetic effect. By 2026, Israel and allied forces compressed this loop to near real time. Operations moved from isolated actions to a networked state of hyperwar. Explaining the 2026 casualty list requires reverse engineering the architecture of this fused intelligence and weapon network. The operational environment of Tehran presents a significant challenge. It is a dense urban grid filled with millions of civilians, heavy traffic, and potential decoys. Executing a precise strike requires solving 2 data points: isolating the exact geographical coordinates and verifying the exact identity. This topological street map of Tehran demonstrates the scale of continuous SIGINT. SIGINT, or signals intelligence, is the interception and analysis of electronic communications and data signals. By early 2026, intelligence agencies had hijacked Tehran's municipal traffic camera system. Artificial intelligence is applied to these live feeds to run continuous facial recognition against moving motorcades, tracking targets as they move through the city. This digital data is verified by HUMANT. HUMANT, or human intelligence, is information gathered from actual human sources on the ground. In this case, informants within the IRGC who visually confirm the data. The IRGC, or Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, is a multi-service primary branch of the Iranian armed forces. This multi-layered matrix of live cameras, artificial intelligence tracking, and ground-level informants renders physical disguises and decoys useless. To avoid digital tracking, high-level Iranian targets often abandon personal mobile phones entirely. Intelligence agencies bypass this by tracking the digital bubble. Analysts trace the secondary devices of the target's entourage, their bodyguards, drivers, and staff, instead of the target themselves. Tracking these proxies creates a moving telemetry signature. While the target remains invisible to the digital spectrum, the signal of their entourage perfectly frames their location. Analysts feed this telemetry into AI systems to map a pattern of life. By tracking routines in transit routes, algorithms predict the exact 60-second window when a target is most physically vulnerable. Localized electronic warfare is used to seal this window. During the strike on Khamenei, local cell towers were disabled minutes before the hit, severing the security detail's emergency communications. The target is isolated in the digital realm before the physical weapon is launched. Physical targeting requires a weapon capable of bypassing Iranian airspace, protected by S-300 and S-400 radar networks. The primary delivery platform for the 2026 Tehran strikes was the F-35 Adir. Its stealth geometry allows it to penetrate deep into hostile airspace without triggering early warning systems. From these platforms, pilots launch Blue Sparrow ALBMs. An ALBM, or Air-Launched Ballistic Missile, is a ballistic missile launched from a carrier aircraft, providing hypersonic speed with guided precision. In urban centers, they utilize GBU-39 SDBs. An SDB, or Small Diameter Bomb, is a precision-guided glide bomb designed to penetrate reinforced concrete and detonate on a specific floor. The physical results are highly localized. A specific floor is destroyed, while the structural integrity of adjacent buildings remains intact. For moving vehicles, the R-9X kinetic missile uses 6 retractable steel blades instead of explosives to shred a target without generating a blast radius. Modern kinetic effectors serve as specialized tools, engineered to match the architectural physics of the target's environment. When a target is deep inside a fortified urban safehouse, the operation pivots to clandestine, boots-on-the-ground hardware. In July 2024, Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was killed in an IRGC guesthouse in Tehran. The weapon was an AI-assisted explosive smuggled into the room months in advance, waiting passively until sensors verified his presence. Disassembled nanodrones have been smuggled into Iran inside commercial suitcases. Once reconstructed, these microdrones execute indoor kamikaze strikes directly on high-value targets. This remote lethality was used in the 2020 assassination of nuclear scientist Mohsen Fakhrizadeh. The strike utilized a robotic, satellite-linked machine gun controlled from outside the country. This schematic visualizes the engineering challenge of remote assassination: latency. The signal transmission creates a 1.6-second delay against a moving vehicle. To solve this, onboard AI calculates the target's velocity, automatically adjusting the aim to compensate for the delay. Through AI and remote hardware, the physical proximity of an operator is unnecessary for a close-quarters ambush. The evolution from 2020 to 2026 represents an intermediate step toward fully autonomous hyperwar. Current engineering is focused on autonomous swarm drones. These palm-sized units are designed to navigate complex indoor environments and execute biometric verification without human guidance. Predictive AI algorithms are shifting the operational timeline. Instead of tracking current movement, systems analyze historical data to predict a target's future location, pre-positioning assets before the individual decides to travel. Emerging threats include cyber-physical sabotage. This involves hacking a target's autonomous vehicle or smart home infrastructure to induce lethal accidents that mimic natural causes. Microscopic sensors, known as biometric dust, are being developed to permanently tag a target's physical signature, allowing drone networks to track them globally. The human element, the operator making the final kill decision, is being engineered out of the loop. Historically, leadership protection relied on physical mass, bunkers, geographical distance, and large infantry formations. Operation Epic Fury demonstrates that physical mass is no longer an effective barrier to digital execution. The development of quantum decryption will soon break the final secure layers of encrypted messaging used by leadership to coordinate movements. In an era of fused digital tracking, informational control has superseded geographical protection as the primary requirement for security.